Gee, thank you for that, Simple. But we had no idea what his gameplay was like today. Other than that, he lost, and then he started going down into the loser's bracket. Now we're seeing Machette here with this Artemis pick. Loving it.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. He's got the carryover of the Scythe from his Mordex that he was playing earlier today. And then maybe just picking up a Lance, has been watching Spectre today on that Lance. Or just the fact that Machette did, in fact, used to play the Ogrim as well. So he does have a Lance in the back pocket.
This is, I believe, what Machette was playing in the most recent 1v1 tournaments that he played in. I believe it was the Brawl League Frenemy Frenzy 1v1 that he did make this major character change over what he was playing in 2v2. So a little bit slow to start this one out. We're 40 seconds into this, and only one player is really in the orange. That hit turned Simple orange. Machette has now swapped over from the Lance onto the Scythe. We're here on Small Brawlhaven.
Yep, Small Brawlhaven means that a good stomp side air from Simple could lead to the knockout. A little bit harder for Machette with this Scythe. Doesn't have the most variable force on these moves, but if he gets enough of them, it's going to work out. The side air gives the first stock to Machette.
He's going to have his choice of weapons. He's going to stick with the Scythe. Going to go for those dodge reads to try and build up that early damage on this white stock. Now Simple grabs a weapon. It's going to be that sword. Now there's one thing I said in the pre-show earlier today about Simple's kind of slower, maybe punish-heavy play style. He doesn't go for those big plays. And I think there was a tweet yesterday that was poking fun. Of course, it was in jest. But it was like Simple's in-game highlights be looking like. And it was someone in training mode that would just like hit a hammer stomp Sair. And then he would sidelight and then hit a stomp Sair. And it like that's truly, even though it's exaggerated, that's truly kind of how Simple plays. Like there you see a simple stomp Sair from the middle of the stage, didn't rely on a dodge read, didn't have any insane reaction, he didn't wake up and do it. It's just, and I hate to say this word because we say it so many times, but it's so simple, and sometimes it can even be boring, and I don't mean that in a bad way, because if you're boring and you win, you won.
It's all about that dub. I mean, Simple plays to his name, right? He does the most efficient thing possible. He's playing the Bodvar, so a million other people have played this Bodvar. I mean, there's only so much innovation you can do with the character that's been in the game since its inception for the past 5-6 years. But at the same time, Simple does it so incredibly well. He's optimized this play. But it's worth pointing out, Machete is a stock up on the Simple, has extra health to play with as well on the second one.
Ooh, another side signature from Machette. That side signature from Artemis, man, it's very good. It's definitely underrated. I know if you asked a lot of people, they would probably say it's pretty dang good, but no one like actively talks about it. You almost have to prompt them to talk about it. The movement on it, the part where it pops you back after you've used it, but not like all the way back to where you were, is fantastic.
Nice.
He's able to use so many things in this Artemis kit to easily take first game.
Yeah, that was really nice for Machette. Definitely had the control of that one after they got into those second stocks. Didn't really look like he was sweating too hard. I like this Artemis pick. It's kind of to your point, right? Not a lot of people talk about the side sig, and part of it is because you don't see a whole lot of Artemises in general. Definitely a very high movement speed character, but she's got some great stats overall, 555, and then just that extra move speed.
Yeah, he is going into that defense stance to make it 5-5-5, like you said. Weapon spawn comes in. First one goes to Machette. You saw Simple throw out like one move, but then he disengaged. Weapon toss already comes out. I think these games are just going to be a little bit longer than normal, like a typical kind of late game, late bracket EU style set. What you would expect when Simple and Machette come together here on the Demon Island. Nice sidelight there. Goes for the dare read on that.
Okay, a little soft punish there with the side light. Didn't get anything bigger. Machette was still in the air, so he couldn't really go for like a down light like he was likely wanting. There's a D-light dare reset, but Machette with the recovery going to be able to respond to the damage.
Nice D-light side air. That's going to give Simple the power position here. The side air into the wall. Not sure if he wanted to run that into the wall or go back onto the main platform. Probably into the wall because Simple would have punished that landing for sure. Simple with a nice lead here. He's probably going to take the first stock, which is going to be different than what happened last game. That neutral light is going to send Machette all the way to the right. Lucky for Simple, that hammer toss weapon hitbox was already done, so that didn't stop the momentum that allowed that neutral light to send all the way to the right. Simple could then punish the landing back onto the stage with the D-light recovery to get that one and have a huge lead to his name.
Simple looking pretty good right now. Another D-light dare. Didn't get a third hit. Not a lot of things you can do at white health off the D-light dare. Usually you have to go for some sort of read or a reset.
Speaking of reads, you saw that read from Simple there. He went for the weapon toss to the turnaround neutral light. He is going to fall here. Machette going to have control of the weapon. See if he goes back to the scythe. He does, just like he did in game 1.
Yeah, definitely the comfort weapon for Machette in this one. He's got some stuff with the lance. It's not like he's going to be uncomfortable with it, but he's much more comfortable with the scythe in hand. Okay, more neutral lights. Again, Simple, he just gets 1 or 2 hits. You're not seeing these big extensions where you get those 3, 4, 5 hits or anything like that. He's not going for the offstage. Instead, he just gets a neutral light, a side light, but he's winning more frequently in these neutral engagements.
And he's doing a great job keeping Machette weapon starved. Could lead to the KO here. Weapon toss goes high. He didn't really aim that one. Maybe he was just trying to cover the super high recovery, and he's just going to clean that one up. Nice and easy. Again, you watch the replays at the end of this of Simple's KO, and like they're going to look boring. If you slow them down, they're not going to look any sicker.
Yeah, what you have to do is look into the mind of Simple and just see how well he's like, look, he's getting all of these wins onto Machette. Machette is not able to find any sort of response. He finally gets a side air, and that's it. Simple's back in the driver's seat, just putting this pressure on Machette and just chipping away, keeping him stuck on this right side. Machette hasn't been able to rotate to that left side weapon. Finally does it off the side light, but immediately down air almost gets the recovery follow-up.
The side light there went
up.
for the gravity cancel side sig as the option this time. He started the game doing the jump dare early on because Simple was in low health. This time he went for the big play, gravity cancel side signature. The wake up from Simple there caught him really high. That was definitely going to be a KO.
Yeah, that was a great response from Simple. Generally, you see him go for the immediate defensive option, but you'll see him sometimes go for that quick response, and it'll throw the opponents off. Similar to how he does edge guards, right? Almost 9 times out of 10, he'll sit on the corner, wait for you to come up, and then he'll just chip away at you. But every once in a while, he goes for that dash jump ground pound right when it works, and it'll lead to a knockout.
It's funny, production even slowed down that second side air kill. Look, man, it's a sword side air. He hit it. It's a good move. He got the KO. You can't fault the man for it.
No, well, it works, it works. Machette gonna respond by swapping over to the Bodvar himself. Didn't really like how that last matchup was going for him, but this is his final. Actually, wait, no. We are currently tied 1 apiece, so he still has some opportunity to play with this Bodvar. Maybe swap if this thing still isn't feeling good.
There's the D-Sig we love to see. Maybe if Simple started using that a little bit more. Yeah,
maybe what?
I don't know. Maybe more things would be happening. Maybe he wouldn't have found himself in the losers bracket here. I don't know. It's a Marvel's response. What if? What if Simple used the D-Sig more?
Doesn't need it for that one, though, because he gets the D-Light down air into the recovery, and Simple going to take the initiative. Doc Machette needs to build up a little bit more damage before he can go for this knockout. Has the hammer, though, so if he gets the stomp in the left-facing direction, could get to knockout, but not to the right-facing direction from there.
There's a little bit of pressure Simple's putting out. D-Light dare. The dare doesn't come out in time. Didn't have enough stun for that to be the true option with how late he did that dare.
A rare drop from Simple. Let's get the neutral area back up onto the stage. He's getting this extra credit. Machette with the weight. There's the side air. Machette can even up the stocks. Didn't take too terribly much damage, but there is still some extra credit to Simple's name.
I think Machette is still in the yellow, so he's under 50 damage on the second stock. He is still in the yellow indeed. After that weapon toss, he did flash yellow. Even after that weapon toss, still going to be in yellow. Not going to add up a lot of damage with those weapon tosses.
Sword pickup, though, for Simple. Slowly it's adding up. D-Light down air bounce. Not enough to bounce into the recovery. D-Light side air.
Going to be a weapon toss or just a follow?
Oh,
didn't even need anything. Interesting. Caught him in the middle of his in-air movement. Chose the safe option there. Didn't even throw his weapon out because he was keeping track.
Now, Simple very rarely will throw that weapon off of a D-Light side air, but he will do it in the neutral engagement just like that.
His juggle game's been pretty good. He's
like
getting
sword and air juggle?
Yeah, he's getting like 2 hits. He doesn't usually get the third one, but he's consistently getting 2. He'll get like double nairs, or he'll get recovery, and then the nair right after that. He was just done with that game. Machette was ready to move on.
He's trying to find something that will work against Simple, but like if you take any singular moment of this and you're just like, oh, he's just doing D-Light side air, but you gotta look and focus on how consistently he's hitting it, how consistently he's able to reset into it, right? He'll do a D-Light down there and then reset down. We saw him chase dodge down into a neutral light, and then he'll go back, wait for an option, go for D-Light side air again. He's just so good at getting these little chips that add up to big damage.
We are seeing a lot of backseat gamers in the in-game chat. We are seeing Polyshot telling him to pick Sidra. Heisen's telling him to pick random. He's got a lot of voices in his head right now, like Randy Orton, but he's going to ignore all of them and lock in this core. He's not playing Thanos Jake, even though he is using the gauntlets that you would play with.
No, he is going with the Night Core, and to your point about the Randy Orton, this is kind of the RKO carry, right? Their character, right? You can go for those nairs, go for those recoveries off stage, and out of nowhere steal a stock, but he's got to get into that situation, and it's going to be rare for Simple to give him that opportunity, right? Like if Machete tries to play to the edge too much, Simple's just going to wait. He's going to sit on the side and be like, all right, when you run into exclamation points, I will get you.
Goes for the in-light into the dash neutral signature. Now he does have, I believe he still has D-Light Insig as a true option, but he does go for the D-Light Sair instead.
I'm not sure how much Machete has been playing this core. Of course, he'll have those gauntlets, the carryover from the Mordex from earlier, but not too familiar with his hammer play. Didn't see a lot of it in the Bodvar in the last game. Nice three-piece from Simple, recognizing the damage for the gravity cancel neutral light. It's so interesting to me that Simple opts to stick to the sword when the opponent's deep red. Like most other players will go to the hammer for the slightly faster knockout, but Simple's like, no, I like the safety and the consistency of this sword.
Yeah, he's just more comfortable going for the sword D-Light. He also has the D-Light Dare recovery as an option that will KO earlier if he feels risky enough to go for that one. There's the Stomp Side Air again. Even though he's kind of in the deep orange, he wanted to go for the edge guard situation there, then risking trying to hit off the top with an Insig and it not actually killing. But he did follow up with the ground pound there to end that one. Simple comes out of the gate throwing a two-piece or a three-piece out, unarmed damage. Machete is definitely getting the better of the damage here, except he disarms himself. Simple picks up a weapon.
Nice. Neutral light, though, will stop Simple from landing that side air. Would have been a dangerous situation to be in. Now we've got Hammer versus Hammer. The stats do kind of favor the core here. High defense means that Simple's going to be trading less efficiently.
Now this core is going to be level 47. It is his highest Hammer legend, but not his highest Gauntlet legend. That's going to be Mordex coming out on top as his highest Gauntlet legend.
Machete opting to go over to the gauntlets, gets the Nair into the recovery. Not quite enough damage, goes for the dodge read there, but Simple stayed high. Opportunity here as Machete does disarm himself. Simple's going to deny weapons, doesn't hit the weapon toss. Not too concerned though, because he still gets to keep his sword. D-Light side air. Again, corner control is Simple's game. D-Light side air.
Yep, corner control. You nailed it. He's been so good on that corner, not only with those D-Light Stairs like we just saw, but he's been throwing a lot of sword neutral lights. His neutral lights have been good all over the map, but especially on the corner. He's been able to safely throw it out, hit quite often, and when he misses, he doesn't get punished for it.
Nice weapon toss, just showing that he's present. Not going to do any real damage with it, but immediate. Gravity cancel D-Light into the recovery. Machete does get the stock with the D-Light side air. We're going to final stocks here in game number 4. Machete needs this one in order to take it to game number 5 and potentially stay inside of this summer championship.
I think he's still in the yellow, so just a little bit behind. He has Simple in the yellow now. I think he's actually ahead.
Lead.
Yeah, Simple is in the orange now. Machete with the lead. Neutral Light's going to send Simple high and to the right. That soft platform there actually gave Simple kind of a safe haven to go back to instead of having to choose to go high or low and get juggled by Machete or edge guarded by Machete. Ooh, the back-to-back side airs.
Control though. Side light doesn't get the follow-up neutral light. Machete get the gauntlets. Simple's going to deny. Throw it again. The weapon spawn. Machete was hoping for it off that neutral air. Simple gets it. It's going to be another sword for Simple, and Machete is stuck on this corner with no weapons to his name. Oh, side light just barely saving his life.
That unarmed side air only sends Machete about halfway to being off screen. It's Hammer v. Hammer.
Woo!
I almost thought that stomp was going to be too far away for that side air to hit. That side air also seemed like it was a little bit slow.
Yeah, a little
might
delayed.
Just be a mental mistake in my brain seeing it. So yeah, Simple's going to take that one. He's going to take it 3-1 fairly confidently. But again, you weren't seeing him put a ton of pressures. Going back to what I was saying in the pre-show, he's not putting a lot of pressure onto his opponent. In this case, it was Machete. He was just sitting on the corner. He would throw out a Neutralite as his opponent recovered back to the stage.
I feel like Simple doesn't get enough credit for how he's able to choke out his opponents. Not like literally, but in the sense of like he steals all this stage control. Like he has the entire stage to his back and the opponent is just stuck in this no man's land in the airspace. It's not the hyper aggressive